Hi everybody, and this is Alchemist 2, and welcome back to another book review. I just recently read the Geraldo show, written by Geraldo Rivera, whom I have a crush on, still and yet to this day. And it talks about his very early childhood, well not his childhood, but his very early career in newscasting, and sort of his bombastic way, and the marriages he had, the marriage that he has now, and how he feels about our current president. And it's interesting, he doesn't completely vilify Donald Trump, which, you know, I don't either. I don't necessarily like Mr. Trump, but he actually says he's not all bad, which I believe that too. I think that Mr. Trump has done some good, but there are some things that he's done very wrong. But he's nothing like MacArthur. Oh, don't even get me started about MacArthur. Although right now, Mr. MacArthur is doing a lot of good, so he's making up for a lot of bad things that he did. Just saying. Enough of that. But Mr. Rivera, I think he's done a lot of good in his time when he's done his broadcast with Fox News and Friends, and yeah, he got himself into quite a lot of trouble and controversy, but I think he did what needed to be done, and a lot of things were taken out of context, and they thought that he had done what he shouldn't have done, and I thought, oh, you're misconstruing meaning, and yeah, just it was more of wrong place, wrong time, and the fact of the matter that he had a gun and he wasn't supposed to have a gun, and it was like he said, she said, and just a mess. And he was also on Dancing with the Stars, and he said, "Oh, my partner deserved better." I haven't seen the actual dance itself, so I can't judge. But he did the cha-cha-cha, or the cha-cha. I shouldn't say cha-cha-cha. And he said it was absolutely horrendous. It was devastating. It took a lot out of his ego. And I thought, I mean, you did it. At least you had the fortitude to go out and actually do something different. But he's known for his talk show. I remember when he was in talk shows, and I followed him religiously because, like I said, he's so beautiful, so charming. I want to meet him. And and what's so cool is he's actually a fan of Mr. Marin, and I'm a big fan of Mr. Marin too. He's a fan of a lot of people I like, and I just feel like he covers a lot of things that don't necessarily get covered, and he takes a viewpoint that a lot of other reporters don't take, and I appreciate that because there are a lot of people like Engel. I really admire Engel because Engel, oh my God. He actually admires him too, but Mr. Engel, my lord, he goes out there on the front line, and I can hear my dad in the back of my head, "Oh my God, he's going to get killed." Well, I hope he doesn't. Hoping he's still alright. But that's all I got to say. It was a really good book. There were a lot of good photographs. I'm going to see. Yeah, he goes to Israel and the Israel and Palestinian war. That conflict is still going on today. And I think I'm actually going to be going over there. I'm going in November. I'm going late November. I'm going from November 25th through December the 4th, just so you know. But that's a recent photograph. Look how guapo. I mean, he is. He's extremely lindo. I know that's usually that verb, that adjective, is used for women rather than men, but I just think he's a beautiful man, and he has a beautiful soul. And he wrote this himself, but I'm going to read the last thing that he wrote, and I think it's very telling. He talks a lot about 9/11 as well. One of America's most enduring broadcasters, Emmy and Peabody Award-winning journalist Geraldo Rivera is a Fox News correspondent at large and host of breaking news specials. Geraldo Rivera Reports. He's still doing it. Yeah. It's a pity I can't watch him. I would love to watch him again. He's with Fox News, Fox and Friends and Hannity. He's a native New Yorker. He's actually half Jewish. He's Jew-Rican, as he says. I thought, that's awesome. It's like, no wonder I like you. You're part of my tribe. Although I am by proxy. Let's see, Tora Bora, he talks a lot about that. He said that nearly ruined him. There are a lot of things that nearly ruined him, but he still forged on. Yay, I'm glad you did. Anyway, he's reported extensively on the Arab-Israeli conflict. Very brave, and I'm glad he has. It says he did a broadcast of the assassination of JFK as a host on Good Night America. I remember that. He did the Elvis cover-up. He produced and hosted Geraldo, which I watched religiously, and the Geraldo Rivera Show from Daytime TV. He's the winner of the 2000 RFK Journalism Award, his third. Good for you, Geraldo. You deserve that. For his NBC News documentary of women in prison. The Scripps Howard Foundation National Journalism Award for another NBC special report, Back to Bedlam. Rivera has received hundreds of honors for journalism and community service, including the prestigious George Foster Peabody. Whew, yeah, that's huge. The Columbia DuPont, and 3 national and 7 local. And this is written by somebody else. It wasn't actually written. This part wasn't written by Mr. Rivera. An avid sailor who circumnavigated the globe, he skippered 4 Marion to Bermuda yacht races and took his vessel voyagers Yeah, he talked about that. That was so neat. I thought, I wish I could be with you because I'm a sailor too. Hundreds of miles of the Amazon River. Rivera is a graduate of the University of Arizona and Brooklyn Law School and is author of 7 previous books. A philanthropist whose causes include the care and treatment of the disabled, one of my biggest deals here. He's married to former Erica Michelle Levy and has 5 children, 4 of them adults. Geraldo and Erica live happily ever after, with their 12-year-old daughter Sol in Cleveland, Ohio. Go Cavs. I thought that was really, really sweet when he talked about that. And I think it's nice that he named her Sol, because that means sun in Spanish. It's such a pretty name. But anyway, it was a very revealing book and very enjoyable and a good read. And I highly recommend, if you're a fan like me, if you're just intrigued with his career, just holy crud, this man. This guy. This guy over here. Yeah. I want to meet him. Maybe someday I will. I consider him a role model. I consider him an idol. And I'm glad that I had a chance to read the book. The book wasn't that long at all. It didn't take me that long to get through it because it was such a page turner. I couldn't put it down. And he doesn't sugarcoat anything, and he's very upfront and honest about what happened in a lot of the reports that he made and some of the things that made him and other things that broke him. But despite that, he got knocked down, but he kept getting back up. So I'm thinking Tub Thumping should be his theme song. I know that's a bad joke, but anyways, that's all I got to say. Of course, my other update, I'm going to Israel. I've been writing a lot. A lot of things are not going to be produced or written on Blogger. Like pre-recorded is not. Symphony Maker is. Thimble of Opportunity will be. Way of the Heyoka is not, because that's going to be more of a personal tale, because I am a Heyoka and a shaman. I don't like talking about it very much, because I'm afraid that like, oh, heal me. Yeah, I don't want that information to get out too terribly much, because there are people that get really needy about that sort of thing. And actually, there are ways that you can do it on your own without my help. And I am not professional. I am in the process of learning. So I cannot yet help people, but I can assist with motivation. So that's one way I heal, is through motivation and laughter. Conjugal visits, yeah, that's going to be on Blogger. That's an Eros, just like Symphony Maker is. Internal conversation, that's about the organs and of themselves. The organs will talk to each other, and it's like Inside Out. It's more of an adult version of Inside Out. I do a depiction of a sex scene in a rather interesting way, because I actually anthropomorphize the penis and the vagina. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I don't think anyone else has ever done that. I am also writing hoops. Yeah, that's in the process. Then I'm going to be writing my super sweet quinceañera. So that's about it. Until next time. Live long and prosper. Ciao, tutti.